And just a quick revision video on the Nazi consolidation of power. It's the first topic of your GCSE Germany course and a topic which appears often in the exams. So it's vital that you know it well. Okay, so this topic looks at the steps Hitler and the Nazis took to strengthen their control over Germany from January 1933, okay, until August 1934. January 1933 was when Hitler was made Chancellor of Germany. August 1934 is when Hitler becomes the Führer of Germany, the dictator of Germany. Okay, and the steps, we can remember the steps using this memory phrase. So this is what I used with you in class. Rigged German election leads to psychopathic Nazi dictator, and here are the steps in order from that memory phrase. Okay, you should learn these steps and know the dates of each of the events. However, also you must be able to explain how each event helped Hitler increase his control and increase his power, because that's really what we're looking at. How did he increase his power to the point that he became a dictator? So if we start off with the Reichstag fire, okay? So the Reichstag fire was in February 1933, okay? And the Reichstag fire is important because Hitler used it to convince the president Hindenburg that the fire was the start, or the signal for the start, of a communist revolution. And he asked Hindenburg for powers to round up the Communist Party members and put them in prison. Hindenburg agreed to this and signed into law the law for protection of people and state. I'll just write that down here. Protection of people and state. So the law for the protection of people and state. And that allowed Hitler to round up the KPD, the Communist Party. And that increases his power because the Communist Party are a big threat to Hitler. They're one of the largest parties in the Reichstag, and the Communists are totally opposed to Hitler. They're his opposites, if you like. And therefore, this allows him to control them, and therefore his power increases. After the Reichstag fire, we have the election of March 1933, and the Nazis win 44% of the vote in that election. Okay. Which is not a majority, but they're able to join with another party which had 6% or 7% actually, called the DMVP. And this gives the Nazis overall a majority of 51% in the Reichstag. Okay, so in that election, let me just jot back here. The Nazis now have a majority in the Reichstag. Majority in the Reichstag. That means that they can control the parliament. They can control the decision making. They can control what is done in government. Basically, it means that they can get any law they want passed. Right, so what's the next thing the Nazis do? Well, the next thing to do is get the enabling law passed. So I'll just put enabling law here. Enabling law of March 1933. Oh, sorry. Now, the enabling law needed 66% of the Reichstag to agree to it. But this was easy because the KPD were in prison and the other parties were intimidated by the SA men who lined the hall. Here's the SA going into the Kroll Opera House. You can see this is like a cinema, okay? The Reichstag, you see Reichstag written there. The Reichstag was meeting in the Opera House because the Reichstag building itself had burnt down, and the SA were marched into the hall the day that the enabling law was being passed and surrounded the hall. Now, they said they were there for protection because they feared there was a communist revolution on the way, but really they were there to intimidate the other politicians. So the Reichstag approved the enabling law, and this gave Hitler the power to rule by decree for 4 years. Rule by decree for 4 years. So that's what the enabling law allows Hitler to do. Rule by decree for 4 years. What does that mean? Well, that basically means he's got dictator powers already. Ruling by decree means that he doesn't have to ask the Reichstag for permission, and he basically anything he wishes to get approved becomes law. Right, so with the power of the enabling law, Hitler's able to do quite a few things. He bans local governments, okay, puts local government, oh, I've done this again. He puts local governments under Nazi control. He bans trade unions. And they ban other political parties. So all of these things are done with the power of the enabling law. All of these things are brought under control. And the Nazi word, or the German word for control, is Gleichschaltung. It means control or coordination. Coordination is the better. Right, so everything is being coordinated. Everything now is being brought under Nazi control. And this is through the power of the enabling law that he is able to do this, okay? Right, however, so by 1933, most organizations in Germany are under Hitler's control. But one problem remained, and it was this guy, Ernst Röhm, okay? Ernst Röhm. Ernst Röhm was the leader of the SA. And as leader of the SA, he led 3 million men, okay? 3 million, huge army of men. And there were fears, Hitler feared that Ernst Röhm was going to try and make himself the leader of Germany. Ernst Röhm believed that the SA should become the official army of Germany. And this was a real problem. Hitler was afraid the SA might try to overthrow him, but also the German army generals hated Röhm and his SA, and Hitler needed the German army's support to achieve Lebensraum. So Hitler wanted to invade other countries, and he needed the support of the German army. So Ernst Röhm would have to be dealt with. Okay, so in June 1934, Hitler ordered the SS, to round up and kill 200 leading SA men, including Röhm, during the Night of the Long Knives. Night of Long Knives. Okay. So this guy ends up being killed, as well as a few hundred others, most of them SA leaders, but quite a few other political opponents as well. Now, the result of this is that the reason how this increases Hitler's control is Hindenburg and the army congratulate Hitler for acting so swiftly, and the army generals reward Hitler by promising to support him. Okay, then in August, Hindenburg dies. Here's the old president lying on his deathbed. And Hindenburg's death is really important because Hitler can now merge the role of Chancellor and President into a new role called Führer. And, oh, spelled that wrong. And what's important here is that the army support Hitler as well. The army support Hitler in doing this, and the army agree an oath to Hitler. Oath of loyalty to Hitler. So now, Hitler is Führer of Germany, and the army, you can see it over here, swear that they're going to be loyal to Hitler. So that's it. Those are the steps that Hitler took to becoming a dictator and having full control of Germany. Okay, and that's how you remember them. But it's also really important that you understand how to explain the importance of each event and why each event increases, or how each event increases Hitler's personal power over Germany. Okay, guys, good luck.